Alright, so today we're going to put the train on the track and make the train move. So we're going to create a new assembly. Under place, I'm going to find my train project. There's my train project, my train parts, and I'm going to use the train assembly 1. So I can see that there's my train assembly, and I've got hit escape. So if I go over here, at this point, I cannot make, and although I did the assembly correctly, I can't make the wheels move. Nothing is moving when I'm doing something here. So I need, first of all, to make the wheels move. So I'm going to go over here to the browser, and under my train assembly, I'm just going to right click, and I'm going to turn on the adaptive. And by doing that, I should be able to get the wheels to move a little bit. And they're not. Maybe I have to turn on this second adaptive. Let's try this one. There we go. So I've got the adaptive turned on. Yours may have just one, yours may have two, but I think we got the wheels moving on this. Now, to get the wheels to move together, we've got to then open up our wheels. So I'm going to open up on my browser. I'm going to go here and open up my origin, and I'm going to turn on my YZ plane. And you can see it puts all 4 of them for all 4 wheels. If you have what I have, which is these 2 planes are lined up the same, you don't need to do anything. If for some reason these 2 planes are not lined up the same, you'll come up here to constrain, you'll do an angle constraint, you'll do directed angle, and you'll click on both the planes to get those to be lined up. If you have what I have, what we're going to do is we're going to get all 4 planes lined up here. So once you have the 2 planes on both sides lined up, you're then going to constrain an angle constraint, directed angle. You're going to click one of those, and looky here, it's not going to let me. I know why. So we're going to hit cancel. And I need to actually be into that train assembly. So I got to double click here and open up so it says return up here. So I know that I'm inside that correct. So I'm going to do an angle constraint, directed angle, and I'm going to click that plane, and I can go over here and click that plane. You can hear the pop, and so now all 4 planes are lined up correctly. So I can click OK. And if I can get the wheels to move, you can see that they move together. And that's what we want here. All right, so I'm going to hit return to get back to my normal spot. And I still get the wheels to move. But what I forgot to do, and what you're going to want to do, is to make sure you go over here and you turn off the visibility of that plane. So those aren't there, but we can still see the wheels move just a little bit here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place. I'm going to go find my track assembly. And it'll bring up my track assembly here in a second. As it says, it's not responding. So I'm going to hit pause here until it pops in, and then I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's my track assembly. I don't have the curve track on there, but you will have your curve track on. So to get the train on the track, it's just a couple of constraints. We're going to constrain the bottom of the train to the top of the track. And we're going to do an offset, because right now that train is inside or interfering with the track. We have to get the wheels to be just on top of the grooves, and that's going to be 0.3325. And if we do that correctly and hit enter, we should be able to zoom in and start to see that the wheels are fitting in the grooves, but mine is sort of tilted, and that's okay. That's not a problem at all. So I'm going to go ahead and do a constrain, and I'm going to do a flush constraint, and I'm going to flush the side of the train to the side of the track. and you can see that it's off-centered. That's because the track is 3.4 inches and the train is only 2. So there's a 1.4 inch difference, which means we need to move it halfway in, which means we need an offset of 0.7. And if we do this correctly, we should be able to zoom in and see that our train is fitting right in the grooves of our track. And it should look like it's just barely on the track. Now I'm going to go real quick and I'm going to ground my straight track here. That way I can get that train to move, and you can see I'm sort of getting the wheels to move together on that track, which is exactly what we want. So now we've got that. We're going to do a motion constraint. So under a constraint, there's one called motion. We're going to do both a rotation and a translation. So we're going to rotate the wheels. So I'm going to click on the side of the wheel. And then for number 2, I'm going to click on the edge, not the top of the track, not the side of the track, but I just want that edge of the track. So if I do that and I hit apply, I'm going to hit cancel. Now if I move this train, now what happened here is I moved the train forward and the wheels went backwards. Not a big change there. I think we'll be able to handle that. Alright, so my computer froze on me, so I'm back again here. So I've got the train. If I'm doing this correctly, I'm moving it backwards. The wheels are moving the wrong way. So I'm going to go back into my motion constraint, which is called the rotation translation. And I'm going to edit that. And I need it to go the other way, so we're going to reverse. And the other thing I need to make sure I change is this distance. This distance, I want the wheels to move like they're supposed to move. So we have to talk about the circumference of that wheel, so all the way around it. And if we remember that the formula for circumference is pi times 2 radiuses, or pi times diameter. And when you built this, you found that the radius was 1.125. So the diameter is 2.25. And to find the circumference, we take the diameter times pi, so times 3.14159. And we can click OK. And now we should be able to, and oops, I still have my wheels going the wrong way, don't I? So we'll go back and edit that constraint one last time. And I'm going to have to probably reconstrain that. I don't understand why it's not working. Let's try that one more time. Let's see if this doesn't work it right. No, they're moving the wrong way. So I'm just going to real quick delete that. And we'll do a motion constraint again. And I think I'm going to do it to the other side. I think it might be better that way. So the side of the wheel, rotation, translation, and I'm going to put it on the edge of the track. I'm going to change the distance to be the circumference of the wheel. So 2.25 times 3.14159. I'm going to click apply and hit cancel, and let's see if we have something that looks like we're supposed to have. All of a sudden, oh, we still don't have it right. Well, I'm going to hit pause to get this figured out. And all right, basically, I had it right, but evidently I didn't hit something correctly. But if I go into edit, just to show you what I have here, under my rotation translation here, I still have the forward. Make sure that you are on rotation translation and make sure you have the distance correctly. If for some reason it's going backwards, you should be able to hit the reverse key and get this done. So now if I take a look here, you can see now I've got my wheels moving the correct way. So the last thing that we want to do is to make the train actually move on its own. So there's one more constraint we have to do. So the last thing we do is do a constraint. We're going to do a flush constraint of the back of the train to the back of the track. So those flush together, and we hit apply, and we're going to hit cancel and get out of that. Now, the rest of this is over here in the browser where it says that last flush that we did. We're going to right click, we're going to click drive, and we're going to tell it, in this case, I've got 2 tracks that are 12 inches long, so I'm going to make this 20 inches instead of 10 inches, so it looks like it's driving the whole way. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to change the amount of value, the increment, to be 0.1, so it goes in slow motion instead of really fast. So if I do this and I hit play, you can see the train moving down the track. Reverse does the same thing. So to finish this up, just like you would any other time, you're going to record this, you're going to save it to your Z drive, and then come back, hit play. When you're done hitting play, hit record. After it's done, make sure you turn off the recording, upload it to YouTube, and put it on your portfolio. Good luck with it. Let me know if you have questions.